Okay, hey everybody, welcome to another episode of On Point EDC. Today we have a really cool pen to review for you from the brand Peña Knives. Now, Enrique Peña, basically, he is an awesome custom knife maker, and he's really known for pioneering that fusion between traditional designs and modern functionality. He's actually a master of the traditional slip joint. Those are hugely complex and very, very hard to produce. There's a lot of finishing work that goes into those. And honestly, it's a very particular market. So he ventured out into doing some more modern pieces, some that have actually been reviewed on the channel, and then really blending that classic aesthetic with something with modern functionality. So very, very cool from that standpoint. The X series of knives and pens are kind of his production take, or kind of mid-tech take on custom goods, and doing these small production runs of very, very nicely designed and executed pieces really, really works out. Whether it's a knife or a pen, you are getting a really, really top quality piece, and it's just a great union of top tier design, functionality, and then of course you're going to have the very high performance material. Now, this of course is a custom pen. Some key common characteristics and design language. When you're looking for a custom pen, you're going to want that unique design language. Of course, you're going to want that fun, visual actuation, and then you're going to want premium materials and construction. From that aspect, this Peña clicker, it really hits all of those marks. So with all that said, let's go ahead and take a closer look. All right, now before we get this piece in hand, a quick customary wristwatch check. For those of you that are new to the channel, of course, the majority of my reviews on here are wristwatches. I recently did publish this particular review for the Melbourne watch company, Burnley, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous, guys. Big fan of it. So that's what's flopping around my wrist. There's a lot to unpack. If I was to kind of give you a mini review of it, I don't want to do that, but just to give you a little heads up, if you're wondering about the watch, definitely check the channel history or wait till the end of the video and you should have a link. Now what we came here for, guys, look at this. Let's let it focus now. Woo! It doesn't want to focus on this beautiful thin piece of art here. Guys, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous pen. There we go, finally. Okay, this thing is just the business, guys. Look at this. All milled everything. The beautiful fluting here. I just love the design language. It's quite minimalist, but it's not plain. Everything is quite purposeful. Feels absolutely amazing in hand. Very weighted, of course, full titanium. Let's check the click. It is very interesting. Almost a hydraulic feel. Very refined. There are some friction points as you push down, but it's not gritty in any way. And you're not going to see any wear marks. So it's just one of those things where, you kind of have to, as you can see here, this angle, how tight you want to put those tolerances, right? Plus, when I'm pushing down on it, of course, there's going to be a little angle that I can introduce into it. So, man, this is nice, silent little pen here. Still quite satisfying, still very secure on these clicks. I mean, it's not a loud resounding click, but it's a very solid set. And then the nice thing is the grooves here have a nice way of lining up, and I think it looks quite handsome clicked in or unclicked. I think it can appear a little bit tall unclicked, but click there definitely looks a little bit more, I'd say, more typical in scale. And then here it does have a bit of an extended looking scale because of where the pocket clip sits. But let's talk about it, guys. Here is, of course, my front flipper trapper. Oh man, yes. The finishing, the fitment there, very similar. Look at, even you got a little bit of similar design language that comes through. Really nicely done. Look at that. It just has that similar vibe, which is great. Of course, you have amazing action here. Same here, very precise, very dialed in and purposeful. This wasn't done by accident. This isn't a piece from a catalog that Enrique said, hey, this is going to be a nice one. This is something that just feels very, very fine-tuned and really well executed in hand. Again, the grooves here give you great purchase and just a great tactile feel. Of course, I'm left-handed, which is, oh, well, I write left-handed, but I'm actually, my strong hand is my right hand. So I'm kind of half left, half right-handed, which is probably a little confusing for people, but imagine how it must be for me. So that's why I wear my watch on my right wrist, because I write with my left hand. But yes, I carry right-handed when it comes to my knives. Anyways, guys, just again, just to take a look at just the very, very similar level of fit and finish here. Beautifully done. Just chamfers where you need them. Little design cues where you need them. This is just beautifully done. Now some details on kind of the story of this pen. Nicely signed there on that milled clip, which is just excellent. This is the Clicker titanium pen. There are other options as far as material goes, but this one is the titanium unit. Basically, after the success of the bolt action pen model that they came out with, you know, hey, that came out, let's do the Clicker. This is his first Clicker style pen. It comes in 4 different variations. Basically, they come with Parker style or Schmidt Easy Flow 9000 cartridges, which I really like. The Schmidt Easy Flow, I really enjoy it as far as writing goes. Again, I really don't do a lot of writing samples on the show because basically it's the shell that's really under review as far as the potential of the Schmidt. You know, there's probably a million channels that will do it better, but I do really enjoy that Schmidt Easy Flow 9000. It also will take common G2 refills as well. Now at $99, you can get this thing from various dealers when it's available. They do these in small runs, similar to the knives, right, guys? They do a batch, then they disperse them throughout the different dealers and whatnot. And then you kind of just got to keep an eye out. So definitely a nice thing that I do is I'll search the particular item and then I'll just add myself to the wait list or to be notified when something comes into stock, or sometimes I'll get lucky and something will just be in stock when I'm ready to buy. And again, at that $99 price point, it is actually quite comparable to a lot of the other custom pens that we've seen on the channel. So it's I wouldn't call it, you know, grossly overpriced or anything like that. If you're into this hobby, I think $100 pen shouldn't phase you too much, because there's pens that cost a lot more that probably aren't even built this well. Now, you know, when we look at some more of the details, you can see it's full titanium. It does have that beautifully matte blasted texturing all over it. It's quite smooth. It's not polished by any means, but it's a very uniform blast there. It plays with the light really nicely. As you can see, the darkness within the contours as the light kind of shies away, and then brighter areas grab the light, other areas turn it, and it just gets dark, and you can see some beautiful contrast. You can really get into those fine details of the pen. So really nice from that standpoint. Very solid, super functional, very minimalist, which is what I dig. I dig a very minimalist style with just some really nice key contours that just set it apart, and then I think you have something very, very special. The size wise, the length, it's just under 6 inches at 5.68. The thickness is about 11.2 millimeters. The weight is only 1.3 ounces. So although not heavy, not light either, it's kind of just a nice, for me, a nice balanced weight for something. And you don't want something like this to feel flimsy, honestly. So I think it feels really good. It has a weighted feel to it, but it doesn't feel overly heavy, which is great. Now, in-hand ergonomics, guys, I'm a lefty, so you can see I get a nice grasp on here. The clip isn't intrusive or anything. This does feel really nice on my hand, and then of course the touch points for my finger do offer a nice amount of grip and purchase for whether I'm actuating it or I'm using it, or let's say I'm drawing it and pulling it from a pocket or a notebook or something. You do get some nice grip points, some tactile areas there that really translate to a very high quality feel in hand, which is really great. Now in pocket, it's very unobtrusive, of course, very compact, nice and thin. It is going to sit a little bit higher out of the pocket because once you realize it stops there, you're going to have this part sticking out, right? So that's probably my only reservation about it as far as like pocket carry. The nice thing is it actually fits the pocket quite well because this length here actually isn't too long. So you could put this in a breast pocket, a shirt pocket kind of deal, but you are going to have a decent amount of overhang sticking out, which could be good, could be bad, but this is again pretty heavy. So if you have a thinner shirt, this probably isn't the type of pen that you would want to have in there. You're probably gonna want something a little bit lighter, maybe a little bit more standard when it comes to kind of fitment. For me, where this thing really lives and breathes is, of course, within a notebook pack or an EDC kit or even on a desk, because I think it's actually quite handsome just from kind of an artistic standpoint as far as a premium writing utensil that you could just have, at your workstation at work. Man, this thing just feels great. As far as model variants go, guys, this is also available in copper, basically, or titanium, and then the other two options are with or without a Mokutai clip. So you can basically get that, beautiful kind of rainbow Damascus style clip, or you can have it here be quite monochrome and just kind of one single beautiful balanced color there to enjoy. I of course opted for this model. Of course it was based on availability as well, but I do find this to be very nice. I don't even know if the other one was available, if I would have opted for it, but I do dig this. Very clean, versatile, really goes alongside with so many other great EDC items that I have. So for me, it really works in this kind of more plain style. Again, kind of tying back into that minimalist styling, of course. Feels good in hand. If you do need it to end up being a weapon of opportunity of some kind, you can get some nice purchase on there. If you were going to throw it, it probably has decent weight to it as well, but I think you could probably break through some soft tissue with this, and it does give you kind of a nice amount of leverage just because of the grip that's on there. Again, guys, if some of you are just like here purely for a pen review, sorry about that. I was in the Marine Corps for a long time, so weapons of opportunity are something that always do cross my mind. So of course, having a solid pen is good, because if you can't carry, a knife, a nice backup is going to be something like this. You could, if you really needed to, whether it's breaking glass or bludgeoning or trying to pierce anything, this can work really well as well. So, comparable models, there are a lot of custom overbuilt pens that are out there. Let me get this to focus. There we go. There are a lot on the market. They're not all designed by Enrique Peña though, and they don't all look this good, and they might not all be finished this well, because this thing is finished to a high level, guys. Really excellent, I gotta say. Very impressive. It's, for me, the bottom line is it's a worthy clickable option, when compared to your more popular $100 titanium bolt action pens that you've seen across the channel and just across Instagram and reviews. So if you want to get into some clicking, I think, and you're a big fan of Enrique, this is definitely a cool option. Although there are some other clickers out there, hopefully, that I'll be able to review on the channel soon. I gotta try to mix it up every once in a while, and this piece, I gotta say, very impressive. Let's get this. I'll try to get the sound a little closer to the mic here. I'll even try to actuate it in a loud way. Yeah, so that's when I basically, you're trying to push it really, if I'm trying to get some friction going, you can get it. Again, it's consistent though. It's not like a grainy, it's definitely just a little bit of friction. Still fun to fidget with. But anyways, with all that said, definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked the video, please do hit like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.